What's up, YouTube? This is Stellar Toad, and today I'm going to be talking about the pentagram, or the five-pointed star, as it actually is. It is not a five-pointed star inside of a circle. That's actually called a pentacle. The pentagram was actually originally a symbol of Christianity. It was never a symbol of Satanism. It was actually more around during the Crusades when Christians dropped the look of the pentagram because they found out that the pagans also used it, and they looked at the pagans as evil. Now, in the 1960s, Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan and wrote the Satanic Bible, and he proposed the pentagram as a intellectual opposition to Christianity. So, from the very beginning, the pentagram's association with Satanism has been completely based on edginess. That's what it's always been. That's all it's ever been, and not any actual satanic meaning behind the pentagram. So let's look at this. The pentagram can mean the 5 books of the Torah, the 5 first books of the Old Testament. It can also mean the 5 wounds of Jesus. A modern interpretation, based on my own thought program, can be Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, okay, which is the crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, and solar plexus chakra, which means divinity into focus. So actually the pentagram, or the 5-pointed star, can mean a symbol of Christ, because it can literally represent the syllables of Christ, or the mantras within Christ consciousness. So, long story short, the pentagram was never symbolic of Satanism. It's pretty much that simple. But let's talk about the devil, okay? Or Satan. The devil, Satan, Lucifer. Let's talk about the words. So, devil. That came from the word diaphil. It's a Greek word, and it means opposer, or anti. That's basically what it means. The opposer. And Satan came from the word thing. Same thing, basically, the same word meaning. The word Satan comes from the word Satan, which actually means opposer, the same way. And Satan's first appearance in the Bible was actually as basically a character in a divine courtroom situation where basically he would be the accuser. He would be the person going against the Christian or the believer, and God would be the defendant, or Christ would be the defendant. And that's basically the first part where Satan actually appeared, not as a single character. Never was Satan, or the devil, a single character. That was never a thing. There was Lucifer in the Bible, he was a fallen angel, who basically went to war with God. There's not really much evidence that Satan and Lucifer are synonymous, because Satan and the devil just mean opposer or accuser, and they literally are just workers in a divine courtroom scenario. So the idea of satanic or devilish literally means opposing or accusational. So rather than giving the idea of Satan or the devil power by thinking of it as some divine and powerful evil, let's take that power away from the concept by thinking of it as merely a symbol for our benefit that we can put our issues against. When we think of addiction as the devil, the accuser, the opposer, and ourselves as the Christ or the defendant, then we can realize that we're not victimized. We have the power to defeat our enemies in life. So whatever your enemy is, think of it as the devil, the diaphil, or the Satan. Matthew 21:22. And whatsoever you ask for in prayer, believing, you shall receive. Mark 9:23. If you can believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Matthew 7:7. Ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it will be opened unto you. Proverbs 12:22. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. Luke 6:38. Give and it will be given, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured unto your lap. for the measure you use will be measured unto you. Matthew 9:29. According to your faith, it shall be done to you. Matthew 7:7, ask and you shall receive, actually read more like, ask without hidden motive or hidden malice, and be surrounded by your answer, and you shall receive. Now, a lot of these Bible verses talking about the law of attraction or the law of mirroring, the law of as above, so below, a lot of them actually were changed because Constantine did not spread the Bible, he murdered it. He did not try to spread the knowledge that is in the Bible, because there is knowledge in the Bible. He tried to hide it by acting like he wasn't hiding it. Rather than playing the devil's advocate, he was playing God's advocate. Why does an infinitely powerful, infinitely knowing, omnipresent being that embodies all things need worship? Why did they take out the tens of names for God in the Bible? Elohim, freaking Yeshua, Yahweh, Jehovah? Why did they take all the names out? It's almost as if they weren't one character. Let us make God in our image. That sounds plural. Why is God sometimes murderous and sometimes pure love? It's because they're not the same God. I believe it was an excluded book called The Gospel of Mary Magdalene. I could be wrong about the name of this book, but it actually talks about a snake or a serpent that was hidden away in the clouds, okay? Because someone had a baby without the knowing of anyone else. A baby against basically the divine will. And that snake was hidden away in the clouds, and it believed that it was God. Genocide. Here's the deal, folks. Some things are not sacred, and some things are sacred. That's a fallacy. Everything is sacred, and everything is not sacred. The deal is that everything is fictional, and everything is literal. Everything is a symbol, okay? That's what Christ consciousness says. When you realize everything is a symbol, and everything represents a part of your soul and a part of yourself, everything that happens to you in your life is for a reason to expose something about yourself to you, then you live in Christ consciousness. Then you can realize that everything is a symbol, and you can realize the meaning of life. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It's true. Because guess what? In a dream, when you think about something, it happens. In life, when you think about something, it's going to happen eventually. It just takes a little bit more energy. In life, everything is a symbol. In a dream, everything is a symbol. Everything happens based on your subconscious workings. In a dream, everything happens based on your subconscious workings. It's all the same thing. Life is a dream. We're all water floating through a pipe through the multiverse. We wake up in a different universe every time we go to sleep, or close to every time we go to sleep. And we loop back around infinitely until we arrive back here to live out every single day of our lives. Life is, in fact, a dream. Dream, deliriantly rendered enactment of actuated motion. Deliriantly based only on time. Or is it? Time isn't linear. In a dream, is time linear? No. It's just that when you wake up, you realize that time's not linear. We're still sleeping, so we don't realize time's not linear. We're constantly time traveling, going back to when we were a child, going back into the future, coming back to the present, what we believe to be the present. And it's the idea of having to think about the future, think about the past, and think about trying to think of the present that prevents us from just living it out, because life is a deliriantly rendered enactment of actual motion, actuated motion. Same thing. Rendered, because life is rendered. It has to depixelate. It has to program itself in. It's 11:11 right now. When you become conscious enough to spot the synchronicities, you realize how life is rendered. Enactment, because this universe is literally a copy of 1,200 billion other universes that are damn near identical. Based on actuated motion, because this universe is set into being by higher planes, actual motion, the part of ourselves that is awake. Reality is not real. Subscribe, motherfucker.